Welcome to the Gibberpish podcast.
Well, my lungs may not have arrived in the mail yet, but we're here to talk Gibberpish, aren't we, Dom?
Yep, once again back for episode 10 of the Gibberpish podcast.
This is episode 10 again? We're in shit, mate.
We're back again for the show, doing episode 10.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I was worried we'd done a double recording or something. That'd be great.
Now, since I missed one episode, I'm all off. I still think it's episode 9.
Oh, so I don't count.
No, I haven't been. You've been in all 10 episodes. I haven't. I'm still on episode 9.
You're that guy on the IMDb credit where we're like, what episode did he miss? And then you go back and have to re-go through all the episodes to figure it out.
Yeah. I was the janitor in episode 40.
Oh,
no one pays attention.
Oh, no, wait.
I was going for the extra approach. I was just the extra that no one paid attention to. I was in one 10-minute episode.
There's like one guy in Britain who holds like a record, like an international record for the most amount of TV shows they've ever been in, because he's just been a background guy in everything.
I do remember hearing something like that.
And he's got the most episode credits on IMDb or something like that, and he was on like 3 different kind of, for some reason it's always to do with emergency services, but he's in the background of like 3 of them for every episode.
Holby City and weird shows.
I think it's
like
Holby City, The Bill, and something. I think it's another medical one, because he's played 2 different types of like healthcare like assistant or whatever. I keep thinking the American one, which is always just about moving people around. Oh, what's the name of them? Fuck, this is all getting cut. This dumb bit. I'm talking like, it's a guy in a different colour of scrubs.
Oh, the Porters.
Porters, yeah. It's something like that, yeah. He's played like 3 different kinds of porter on like all these shows, and it just monstrous amount of like time he spent on all these shows, and he's just like, yeah, I just enjoy it. I fucking hope, mate, you've been at this gig for like 15 years. He's just been in background scenes for like 3 different movies, or 3 different TV series here in the UK.
No one from Britain currently was. Some guy named Tom Byron, who's in a shit ton of porn parodies, has 1,676 actor credits to his name to date.
Damn, son.
That is a lot. That's a lot of, like, porn.
Is he just the background guy in porn?
I think he might be the guy that's like, I have your pizza, then his mate shows up and goes, no, I have your pizza, and that guy has to go back
I
to
have the pizza with the extra sausage in, and not
just,
again.
Oh, come on, man.
1,000
It was my turn to bang the lonely wife.
1,000 scripts of being the plumber who doesn't have quite the right edge. I'm here to check all get your piping. Oh wait, my tools are in the van, and he just leaves, and then comes like some naked
The real
dude.
plumber comes in.
The real plumber comes in naked and goes, plumbing.
Yes, I'm here to service your pipes. Oh, you are now, I.
He's just more bangable but slightly dumber, and then the guy who does all the hard work keeps kind of getting rejected. That'd be fucking hilarious. I'd watch that movie.
It's always funny when the guy who has the most acting credits on IMDb, his first most notable credit is The Big Lebowski, a Triple X parody.
The bigger Lebowski.
The biggest Lebowski.
The bigger,
blacker Lebowski.
The bigger, blacker Lebowski. That's something I need to wonder about if we will ever actually play Cards Against Humanity on the show.
I have thought about doing like random, like not, I suppose kind of games on the show, just like playing Cards Against Humanity, just come up with the most messed up shit we have. But that, you can't really play Cards Against Humanity 2-player. You need 2, I think you need 3 to 4 people to play that game properly.
I wanted to do a like kind of Twitch stream of playing, what do you call it, Quiplash, which is not as, like, it's more open-ended. The questions aren't as filthy, but you
get more of an opportunity to be filthy with your answers. Yeah,
I think the only thing that's stopping you is a 35 character limit.
Yeah, you can be as filthy as you like for 35 characters.
Yeah, if you can't get out something funny and offensive in 35 characters, you probably aren't doing very well.
Like the one that we played, one of the questions was, how do you spell Mississippi? I wrote something like cunt bag, and you just wrote properly because you're an asshole.
Yeah,
just left it at that.
I've seen various gameplays of it. I did happen to see as well someone streaming it on like a family friendly kind of channel. Fucking horrible game. Once you stop making dick jokes, that game just goes right down in quality. Oh wow, you shouldn't say semen. I can't say semen while playing Quiplash. What the fuck's the point of playing Quiplash?
I played Cards Against Humanity with my auntie and uncle. I had to go through the entire deck and remove everything that they would get offended by. I was there for about a good hour. Just going, oh, they've got offended by Jade Goody's cancerous remains. My auntie like Jade Goody's cancerous. Oh, she didn't like Jade Goody's cancerous remains. She liked Jade Goody.
That's why you removed the card.
I removed the card, and then it was like, I don't have to explain Daniel Radcliffe's delicious arsehole. So I took that card out.
I wasn't aware that was a card. I'm missing.
Yeah,
that.
there's quite a few. I swear people get different versions of Cards Against Humanity.
There is a British and an American version.
No, I mean, like, people get, like, we've both got the British version.
Mm.
I swear mine's is different than yours. I've got cards in there in my version that you won't have, and that is out with the expansions that we both have.
But do you not have the bigger, blacker box?
Yeah, but that only comes with the box expansion.
I think they might have added in extras.
I swear we have, like, different cards in it, because, like, I know someone else that has it. They have the UK version as well, and they don't have the David Bowie flying on a tiger made of lightning. They don't have that card.
I don't have that card either.
Well, I do, and I use that card quite a lot.
Because it's David Bowie flying on a lightning tiger.
Yeah, and if you combine that with Zeus's sexual appetites, you have the best superhero sidekick duo ever.
David Bowie, Tiger. It's technically a trio. David Bowie, Lightning Tiger, and Zuzu's sexual appetite.
And just his sexual appetites. Just imagine, especially Zeus from the Hercules Disney movie with his big, massive, cheesy grin. Just imagine him appearing at your door. You'd be fucked. You just have to bend over and accept it.
Yeah. How many? I do this occasionally. How many old school Disney movies have you went back and watched?
I recently, just because my excuse is my niece is there and she likes watching a lot of Disney films.
Yeah.
To be honest, I just get bored and go back and rewatch old stuff. I went back and rewatched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That's a pretty dark film. Like, not just animation wise, but like the themes of that film, very heavy on death, very heavy on like being vigilant and fighting the good fight and stuff. And the final, in the bit with the White Queen, I think she's called. It's probably not called the White Queen, but
yeah,
when she transforms into the old lady, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
like,
there's
kids
a lot
should
of
not
really
watch
dark
that shit
in Disney movies.
And then when she's making the apple, that is pretty scary as well. And then when she gives it to Snow White, she eats it, and there's just like mushroom cloud skull.
Yeah,
it's like, kids should not watch this, but they should watch it.
But kids should really need to watch this, but under adult supervision. No, wait, they need to see this on their own so they can experience it. Yeah, there's no real good way to expose certain people to certain content.
Because to this day, I will not let my niece watch Toy Story 3 alone. The scene, just because of how heavily it impacted me, the scene where they're all like linking hands and going into the trash compactor, no kid should have to fucking deal with that before school.
Yeah.
Like, they shouldn't have to finish school on a Friday night, go to the cinema with their fucking parents and be like, Mom, why are they all holding hands and going into the fire? It's because they're accepting death, honey. But why are they accepting death? Because no one wants to play with them. That's what happens with old toys. And then your son or your daughter is crying their eyes. They just put the black eye makeup on. They grow their hair out to a fringe. They just start setting all the action men on fire. They all die eventually. I'm just not going to want to play with you. And there's just a big pile of melted plastic in the corner.
I'm not going to let you go to the men. I'm going to melt you myself. Into the microwave, Sergeant. And just throws toys in the microwave.
Like all these army men, microwave. My favourite Buzz Lightyear toy, oven.
Yeah, because a lot of the toys when we were kind of young were starting to go electronic.
Yeah. And
I imagine there was some serious problems along the way, like fucked up Furbies and stuff. Yeah. But I wonder what would happen if you tried to microwave a Buzz Lightyear toy. This could end up as one of the worst or best videos on the internet that you will see.
But then again, I don't think if I bought one of the new Buzz Lightyears, I'd be able to burn it. Shit's expensive. It's like 35 quid for a new Buzz Lightyear.
You know what's weird is it was probably about the same price when we were kids, and we just didn't notice because we didn't pay for shit because we're kids.
Yeah, the toys and shit are better now because like my old Buzz Lightyear, it had like the crappy wings that didn't fold out all the way. It didn't have a laser. You couldn't open like this little wrist communicator thing. My niece's one, like it does all this shit. It's got kung fu action. It's got the full extendable.
It's got kung fu.
His arm goes up and down like kung fu action. It's got the full extendable wings. It's got the laser. Like it's got the little like flipped open like wrist communicator thing with all the cool little buttons on it. My niece has it fucking easy. And also Bionicles are making a comeback as well.
Back to the Buzz Lightyear toy. Should that not have buttons? It should have just like a piece of paper that you can fold over and like Andy on it.
Andy goes in his foot.
Oh wait, what's it that goes? Oh no, wait, it's just the fact that the buttons thing on his wrist just peels off. And
it peels off and like doesn't Woody write you're a toy or something on it?
Yeah, I knew something was written that I thought it was Andy, but no, it'd be you're a toy because Andy is on the foot.
Yeah, like you're just a toy, which is, again, it's a bit of a heavy message because Buzz thinks he's this big space ranger and Woody's pointing a finger in his fucking face just going, no, you're nothing but a goddamn plastic toy.
But Woody yelling, you are a toy is one of the best things. Yeah. Like, just a part of that movie, you think about it and you're like, yeah, you're taught, but you just you agree with it and you get along with it, and you just kind of don't think about what it's telling you.
Yeah, when you're a kid, then when you go back and watch it now, you're like, shit, that's genuinely making me think. Like the Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog is a very, very good movie.
And Keith David, the guy who voiced Arbiter in Halo 3, I'd listen to that guy read the phone book. That guy's got a fucking excellent voice.
Yeah, he did a voiceover of a like parody Civil War thing for Community, and then showed up in the last season of Community. So he's pretty big on that. So he's just a great voice actor.
Yeah, fantastic singing voice as well. He plays the main villain in it. And the whole thing about it is, I could give you the power to go and get what you want, but you won't learn nothing. Yeah. And that's all. But that's the whole thing about it. Like, you have to build your way up, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, that kind of thing.
That was my when I first watched it with a friend, and she popped it on about, I've never seen this Disney film. She goes, no, it's really, really good. First line that really clicked with me was it's centers mainly around a young black woman, and when they're kids, it's her mum and dad living in a pretty bad part of town, looking up at the night, seeing a star, and saying, "Oh, that's a special star. Make a wish on it." And the dad goes, "Make a wish, but make sure that you work hard to get it there as well. The wish isn't going to do it all for you." And you're like, "This is fucking perfect. Where was this message when I was a kid?" I'd admit I'd loved the hell out of that film.
Yeah,
nobody really went for that when we were that age.
No, it was all just
the prince will come. It'll all work out fine.
It was all just the pretty dude will win, and the big knight with a massive cleaver he'll die because he's the bad guy. Then we flash forward to Game of Thrones, and the pretty guy gets his head crushed open, and the big guy wins.
Yeah, that was a really good moment for us. I remember I was sitting there. I keep trying to remember what fight it was, and I keep remembering every now and again. Oh yeah. The pretty guy lost. Yeah, that was kind of fun.
The guy with all the slick moves got beaten down, and he got his head squeezed like a watermelon.
And you thought he was going to win. It was so good.
It was one of those fantastic scenes in Game of Thrones where who you think, there's not really a good guy bad guy situation in Game of Thrones. It's just this guy who has cause.
Well, there was a good guy bad guy situation, but it ends halfway through season 1.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I'm kind of losing faith with Game of Thrones. They have a good story that I think is just getting left behind more and more. The more people they kill, the more sight they lose of that story.
So you mean the perspective on the overall narrative is just being hacked down one place at a time?
Disappearing completely.
You're probably the only person who has that complaint, because everyone else wants to complain about everything else in Game of Thrones. They don't even see that point of it.
No, my biggest complaint is the fact that they might be bringing Jon Snow back. Just leave him dead. It means more if you leave him dead.
It works. Various theories about the books, about the series, need to be fulfilled with Jon Snow, so maybe that's part of it, or there's something we don't understand, or maybe something right now it looks like we need Jon Snow, maybe we don't.
Maybe there's a Joanna Snow out there somewhere. his twin sister out there.
He spends the rest of the season in drag.
He's like one of his tits falls out randomly. I'm really Joanna Snow, don't kill me.
I'm Joanna Snow. I meant it was going to be proper, it would be him as a woman character, but you're like, no, Jon Snow is in drag for the rest of the show. Okay, that gets really
it's just as a way to bring him back with a way to bring him back without the main villains of the piece knowing that he's back. Just no, Jon Snow died at Castle Black.
Yeah,
he didn't die. He's not alive, and just randomly both the apples that are constituting his boobs just fall out, and he's like,
that'll be the episode. That'll be the episode 1, the kind of cliffhanger at the end. Jon Snow's body will disappear, and then there'll be it won't be mentioned for a couple minutes. And every now and again somebody go, we looked around, nobody's seen anything at the local town or whatever it is. And then it comes back to Jon Snow returning to Castle Black. You can call me Lady Commander.
You can call me Lady Snow.
You may call me Lady Jon Snow.
Or funny would it be if they're all sitting there, the new Lord Commander of the Night's Watch is all just sitting there going, God damn it, I don't think I'm having remorse about killing Jon Snow. Joanna Snow, what do we do now?
Cut to Jon Snow in a wig.
It's not even on properly, it's hanging off. He's got one boob up on his shoulder. His skirt's halfway up his chest. I don't know.
Why is it I get a little bit the wig was fine, the hair. Why is his dress halfway up his body?
Because he's Jon Snow's gormless as it is. You gotta imagine that he can't dress him.
He's a really bad transvestite.
Yeah. So bad he has boob shoulder and he can't.
He's got shoulder boobs.
Yeah.
They literally are shoulder boulders, and they just we're going to a very weird place.
This is fan fiction.
Colin and Dom's fan fiction corner for the Gibberpish podcast. Next week, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. One of them has to go in a wheelchair, but they can decide which one. Tune in next week it would be really, really, really bad.
Splinter isn't a giant rat. He's just a dude in a suit.
He was just in a suit the whole time.
That'd be fucking brilliant if he just goes, "Look, guys, this is getting weird. My name's just Jeff. I work at the laser copy center up there."
I got into like cosplay and then just found myself really liberated by it, and then just kind of got into furries.
Like I
just kind of committed to the bit for like 6 years, and then learned and then trained you in kung fu.
I don't know kung fu, so I double check everything that I just fucking told you.
Yeah,
see that sword? I don't even know how to spell katana, mate. You're all fucked.
I think you've been holding it backwards. I just haven't had the guts to tell you, because then I'd have to reveal all this. But now that I'm out as a furry rat man, I'm gonna just say that you're holding the sword backwards. I think. Check on Google, but I think you're doing it wrong.
He just points to Donatello, mate. See that stick that you're holding? I found that. I didn't make it. I just found it.
That was not. It was just sitting there, and it looked like there was a mop on one end.
So I took the mop off. That's what made my hair for the first while.
You guys didn't know you were a little baby turtle freaks, so I didn't know what to do with you.
I hadn't perfected the costume.
Yeah.
It just looked like me in a karate.
It was just me with a rat mask and a bathrobe. That was it.
You guys fell for it, so to be honest, you're the fucking idiots.
Yeah. You can judge me all you want, but you're the fucking idiots who fell for a guy in a rat costume.
Yeah.
Oh, you kind of watched that movie as well.
I watched the fuck out of that movie, especially if I could be the guy in the rat costume. Just right about to go. My name's Dom. I'm from Scotland. I'm a law student. I just taught you 4 guys who live in New York. I don't actually like pizza. You've not been eating real pizza.
This is what I'm trying to think of what fake pizza would be, but you really can't fake pizza.
Yeah, you can fake cheese, and you can have like some kind of weird gluten-free base.
Oh, don't even get me started on gluten-free.
Nah, pizza's good enough as it is. Like, you shouldn't be a substitute for pizza. You either like it or you don't. Leave it at that.
I have, just to clarify, I have a friend who has celiac disease, which is where they cannot process gluten. That's fine. Yeah. That's a disease, not your problem.
Yeah.
Where I do draw the line, people just saying, "No, I don't eat gluten. It's bad for you." The other one I hear about is paleo diet.
Yeah.
Which is where you use the diet of a Paleolithic man.
I think we have discussed this before.
Yeah.
The paleo diet is now fucking dumb now.
And it's now pretty much being wasted because you can have porridge.
Really?
Yeah, there's evidence to suggest that men and women of that time ate porridge.
I could live on porridge quite easily.
A predecessor of porridge, probably. Like, it'll be, the clickbait title is, they ate porridge, and then it turns out, well, not quite, but kind of close enough that we thought we could get away with this title. And fuck clickbait. If you don't know, you've had bad experiences with like just online content. I could go just ripping into online content.
Do you want to talk about clickbait for a while? Because I've got a few fucking prime examples springing into my head right.
Let's go.
Like right here now. Prime example. Yesterday, I was looking
Can we just, like, real quick, for anyone who doesn't know, you probably do, clickbait is the way of getting someone to get into an article and read it based on a deceptive title. It could be for videos, online articles, tweets, content that you make online. Whatever it is, you can clickbait into getting someone to go for it because you mislead them.
Like, prime example, when if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably more like, there's a 50-50 chance that you're a fan of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. They released a comic that went more in depth about Bardock, Raditz, and Goku, and it showed you who Raditz and Goku's mother was. Gine, I think it was called. And when that was first being pushed, it was the big article on a website, Goku's mother revealed, and I thought, holy shit, they're giving us more story. I clicked on that. Goku's mother will be revealed in a comic that comes out 3 weeks from now. I was like, motherfucker. It's going to take 3 weeks to come out in Japan. It's going to take another 3 weeks to get shipped over here. It's going to take a further month after that to get translated. That's why I have I'm adverse to clickbait, because it gives you something cool, then fucking rips it away for you immediately.
Yeah, I have serious issues with clickbait just because it's so deceptive. I do spend quite a bit of time online, but I want to spend that as well as possible, and I want to be as effective as possible in the what I read, what I look at, and I just don't have time for clickbait. One example, and this one kind of skirts on viable. I'd maybe give it the pass. Minecraft is getting an update on its mobile edition, so you can play Minecraft, or a version of it, on laptop. No, not laptops. That plays a full computer version. Tablets, phones,
your iPad,
like
your Android tablet, what have you.
It was on the No, which is Rooster Teeth, and I will take any opportunity to suck Rooster Teeth dick because I love their stuff. But the title of the video was that Minecraft was getting an update. I was like, oh cool, because there is one on the way. It features a lot of stuff like two-hand wielding, just loads of little tweaks and stuff we've been looking for ages. And it was about the mobile version because there's the two versions running at the same time. That's clickbait.
Motherfucker.
However, this is where they can kind of justify it. The mobile version is going to become almost like the standard version, almost, because of like the way game streaming is going to work for the Xbox. Once it catches up, it could be the new version of Minecraft. It could be the main version, the integrated version almost, of Minecraft. So does that mean Minecraft is getting an update, or Minecraft Mobile is getting an update? Too clickbaity for me.
It's far too vague.
Yeah, and it's all based on another story, which might eventually justify it, but at the same time, kind of a dick move.
Yeah. Like, one that I seen this morning, actually, they were talking about the Hulk in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and it said, one superhero you will not see in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and you click on it, and it basically says, oh, you might maybe not see Hulk in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Then it goes through a bunch of tweets saying he might be in it, he might not be. Then James Gunn just puts out like a full stop at the end of the entire thing and went, he's not going to fucking appear, stop bugging me about it. Like, don't make people read this article just to tell them what they already know. Because I don't think even Marvel know what the fuck they're doing with the Hulk right now. Because they shipped him off at the end of Age of Ultron. Well, he disappears at the end of Age of Ultron because he gets into the Quinjet, like hits a button and flies away into the Nether Realm.
And we get the ultimate Sad Hulk.
Yeah, Sad Hulk music.
I like the joke of Sad Hulk just being him, just kind of, I don't belong in this world, but the idea of Sad Hulk in a jet is very funny, especially because Sad Hulk in a jet really had to like squat deep.
Yeah, it's just like his neck is where his like chest would usually be.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a weird thing of why was he going to be in Guardians 2 anyway? There was no...
Because World War Hulk was meant to be the next Hulk movie, but they scrapped that because of...
It would be too successful? What the fuck?
No, too much Hulk.
Too much Hulk in the next Hulk movie.
Colin's reaction to what I just told him right now is my exact reaction to it, but I maybe more swearing.
My brow is now like fully protruding. I have transformed into the Neanderthal Colin that just wants to yell, the fuck?
It makes no sense because... It's all about Hulk movies work best when you strike a balance between Hulk and Banner, which is why The Incredible Hulk didn't really work too well because it was far too Banner. That other Ang Lee Hulk was just dog shit because it done something. It had a story that might have worked and just fucked it in its ass.
But the
absolutely bent it over and fucked it.
That I really like about Planet Hulk and World War Hulk and stuff like that is that it was Hulk with Banner's brain.
Yeah.
You therefore have the best of both worlds. And you can then use that as an excuse to just go full CGI for the whole movie because there's not really a human around, and it's Planet Hulk they're going for, right?
No, World War Hulk.
Oh, World War Hulk.
World War Hulk is when he comes back to Earth and he makes the fighting pit for all the superheroes, and that's when I think it might be Hyperion, who's Marvel's answer to Superman. That he can fly, super strength, super speed.
Yeah, he's also agoraphobic.
Yeah, he doesn't like wide open spaces. That's what they call him in to beat the living fuck at the Hulk.
I thought the agoraphobic. He's agoraphobic though. I thought it wasn't a fear of outside. I thought it was like he didn't want to get germs on him.
I don't know. No, agoraphobic means you're afraid of wide open spaces.
I'm pretty sure agoraphobia is the fear of like unclean. Fear of being unclean, bacteria, small things. I'm pretty sure that's agoraphobia. Quick technical interlude.
Yeah, quick technical interlude while I check my phone again. But yeah, they're going for the World War Hulk thing. I think because the Hulk is so angry after the events of Age of Ultron. Because there was a deleted scene that...
So they're going to skip over Planet Hulk to do World War Hulk?
Yeah, pretty much. Because there was meant to be a scene in Age of Ultron where he's fighting Hulkbuster, and he goes Grey Hulk, which is not the Grey Hulk that we see where he becomes like the savagery of the Hulk but with the brain of Bruce Banner, but he can't control it.
Right.
He becomes
it's
just
Hulk using Banner's brain to do stuff.
No, it's not even that. It's just he is so angry. He elevates himself above his normal like anger threshold and just becomes unstoppable. Like he could level an entire city just by punching like the center of it.
Right.
But they cut that out for fuck knows why reasons.
Probably because if he can do that, the rest of the movie would then just like getting him to stand near Ultron and just pissing him off, so that he just wrecks the place.
Now, a phobia of germs and being unclean is called mesophobia.
Huh.
Or germophobia or verminophobia. It has many different titles. But yeah, agoraphobia is being afraid of wide open spaces.
Shit, I'm in trouble. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
That was close.
That uncomfortable noise you just heard was my phone almost falling into a pint of water. To be honest, if this one breaks, I get a new one. I can't pick what phone I want, so I'm just riding this one out until one pops up.
But I don't know. The thing with the movies for the Marvel universe, if we eventually get back to doing the original Avengers getting their movie, like one more movie before their contracts are up. And by the way, apparently Chris Evans wants to come back and be Cap somewhere.
I thought he was leaving it after Civil War.
He is reconsidering, which is very vague, and could be just him saying, "Well, I'll do it, but I want more money."
I'll think about it.
But yeah, Chris Evans might come back. I'm not sure, but of all the setups for an individual Hulk movie after the Avengers, that's the fucking one you go for.
And could have took it in any multiple directions. Because the Incredible Hulk was actually canon. Because at the end of it, Tony Stark appears.
Yeah.
And says, "We want to talk to you about the Avengers," and the leader is kind of teased.
Yeah.
Because he gets infected with the Hulk's blood, and you see like the massive like bulbous cranium forming.
Right.
They've set that up. Having the leader show up wouldn't be the worst thing. It'd be a bit hard to explain in this kind of. I feel kind of stupid trying to say like a realistic Marvel universe with like, giant green anger monsters and gods and raccoons that can talk. But they're trying to go for a more grounded Marvel universe. So I don't know how the leader would fit into that. It could work. It just takes the right writer and the right team to do it.
Well, I mean, they've done such a good job of bringing cartoons into reality so far. I mean, what's stopping them from just going at this one? Maybe it's take a slightly different approach as long as it's grounded. But yeah,
I mean, they had a film with a talking fucking tree. Why can't they do?
Yeah, I just can't believe that they're not going for Planet Hulk. Just an abbreviated version of the Hulk as Spartacus leading a gladiatorial slave rebellion and then ruling over a planet.
Probably because they can't use Mark Ruffalo as much, even though the Hulk that we see in Avengers 1 and 2, it's just Mark Ruffalo. Like, it's his face and stuff that they've used.
Yeah.
It is still Mark Ruffalo, it's him acting. He's not acting on screen for as long.
Yeah.
They'll probably do him trapped in the ship, getting sent away to...
Well, that's the thing is he's the Hulk the whole time.
Is he? I thought it starts off with him being Bruce Banner and he gets so angry about being shipped away. He goes like Perma-Hulk.
I think he was stuck as the Hulk, and that's the reason he gets tricked into, because Banner wouldn't go on a spaceship for no fucking reason.
I always thought he was like sedated or something, and they put him in, and that's what causes him to stay as the Hulk, because he's so angry that they went behind his back and shipped him away. But I didn't know he was constantly Hulk.
I think he's constantly Hulk because he needs to be that to survive. But there are like even his slow kind of romantic scenes with the other people on the planet, like he's having conversations with people. He's doing that as the Hulk.
Yeah.
I think he stops being the Hulk for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, because
somebody electrocutes him or somebody stops him and he just goes, "Huh."
I remember that differently. I remember that his son Scar is born.
Scar doesn't appear in either one of them. He's conceived.
No, it's when he meets the female of the piece, the love interest.
Yeah.
Hulk says, "I'm going to show you the real me," then becomes Banner. Then he says, "Oh, the Hulk must want you to meet me." Then he tries to talk to him, tries to talk to the female. Then the Hulk just reappears and goes, "That's enough of him. It's called World War Hulk, not World War Banner.
Yeah.
Fucking pay attention to me."
Yeah, but again, that's all you need is 5 minutes of Mark Ruffalo going, "Huh?
I'm human again."
Oh, wow. Where the hell am I? I don't know. Someone's going, "I'm the Hulk again."
Just like, oxygen.
Yeah, but it's of all the pieces that you could do a standalone for, Planet Hulk is the one that's sitting right there, ready for this scenario of the whole thing's too interjected. How do we get some solo time for one character? Bam! There it is, right there.
It's stupid. I don't know what the hell they're doing with the Hulk.
You can include the rock monsters from fucking Thor 2.
Yeah,
because those guys, that's like.
And
that's one of the main characters in World War Hulk. That's why I went, "Oh shit, it's that guy."
You can even introduce Beta Ray Bill, because you remember him from World War Hulk. He's the horseman Thor. Like, he's got this like the horse skeleton, but he can wield Mjolnir, or a version of Mjolnir.
Yeah, I think I've seen him kicking around.
Yeah, he's like, the story is that he meets this alien from another dimension almost, and Thor's reeling, like fighting him, because every time he goes to hit him with Mjolnir, he's like blocking and throwing him away. He punches Thor across the room, then picks up Mjolnir, and Thor shits himself, saying, "Holy fuck, this guy's got my weapon. He's not meant to have my weapon. It's my weapon." Then he beats the crap at them with Mjolnir. Then they go through some trial.
Right.
Beta Ray Bill uses Mjolnir and then says, "No, this is his weapon. I can use it, but I'm not entitled to it." And Thor basically makes Mjolnir light. I can't remember what the name of it is, but instead of being how Mjolnir is like just one solid piece, Beta Ray Bill's version of Mjolnir has like an axe blade on the other side. It's pretty badass.
Nice. That'd be pretty cool. I think I've seen like different versions of him pop up and different stuff. It does seem like the kind of character that pops in and out of different series just to kind of be there. But yeah.
He's a good character, underused. But then again, if we went through underused and underrated Marvel characters, we'd be here for an extra 2 hours. And I have dinner to go to.
Yeah, I have shit to do.
Yeah.
But yeah,
mince and tatties for tea tonight. I can't fucking wait.
It's,
Scottish dinners.
I have something. Depends. We're kind of busy right at the moment, so I'm just kind of going to grab what I can put in my face. And because right now, I'll just put everything down and try and watch an NFL game because I'm struggling to make my way through the new football season because football's back, baby. Woo! Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's, I'm enjoying myself. Screw you.
Yeah, as long as you're enjoying yourself, buddy. You have a good time.
Yay! Yeah, Carolina Panthers are back and winning, which is good because they had a good preseason, and also it's the first game, so...
You might be able to answer this question for me. Every single person I've spoke to about American football say that... And what time frame do they play in? Is it like 80-minute games or 90-minute games?
It is 4 15-minute quarters.
4 15-minute
So it's a 60-minute game.
60-minute game. Why then does a 60-minute game take up to 4 to 5 hours?
Something,
Why the fuck does it take so damn long?
Excuse, something...
Complete.
Strategy complete.
Something dark side.
Yes. It is a shame that, and it's the one thing that really throws off a lot of UK fans. And it hit me today when I was watching the stuff because I've recorded full games and I'm trying to watch them and I realised I was in like halfway through the second quarter and the time on the bottom of the screen said 120 minutes. So I've decided I am going to watch the highlight show. And then I'll come back and I'll watch Carolina games when they come on the TV. I'll watch them in full, and I'll watch the big games like championships and Super Bowls and stuff like that. I'll watch the full versions of those. Or if I'm drunk and one of them's on, I'll stay and watch the whole thing. But other than that, I need to just watch the highlights. But as for why, time management is part of the game. It's been getting worse and worse for the last couple of years. Like, it's been getting really, really fucking annoying. One example is that on a Super Bowl, I think it was 2 years ago, San Francisco game, and it took an hour to play the final quarter.
An hour?
Yeah.
To play 15 minutes or...
Yeah.
I was about to say 15 minutes of rugby, but 15 minutes of American football took an hour.
Took an hour. Genuinely, it was...
Is this like injury time or... I'm trying to approach this from like a noob's perspective because American football is completely like, alien to me.
Okay, each play lasts about between 2 and about 5 seconds. If somebody goes from end to end, that's obviously about 10, 15 seconds, whatever, depending on how long it takes. You then have, every time a play is finished, they reset, so that's 10, 15 seconds on top of that. There is up to 30 seconds of the ball can be on the ground ready to play, and you can hold off on calling the play, like starting the game again, for 30 seconds, and then another 2 to 5 seconds of action occurs. So you could have each play take a minute. You could have this. You could also have a series of rapid succession plays that you could do like 5 in 5 minutes. Not impossible. Like you could do about 5 in... I've seen them go so fast as to be like 5 in 2 minutes, where you just have somebody just going, we're going to fucking go for this. Bang, 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 series of plays down the field, quick, easy moves, no fucking around. And it does work because it catches so many people off guard because so many people are expecting a 60-second worth of wait for the 2-second play. And then you can fuck with people that way. But yeah, the time management has gotten more manipulative because it does fuck with you. Imagine sitting ready for violence, which is what American football is, for 30 seconds. Waiting for violence for 30 seconds, inches away from the person you're going to do violence to. It's a psychological mind game that some people are...
I'm guessing they don't
really
have...
taking the piss playing.
I'm guessing they don't really have the time wasting rule. Like in rugby, if you're sitting for a scrum, and just say you're playing front row and you're taking ages to bind onto your other players and you keep bringing the scrum up, you can get pinged for time wasting. Like you can get sent off the pitch, like, right, 5 minutes sin bin, you're time wasting.
Right.
Or like, swap this player, he's time wasting.
Right.
I'm guessing they don't really have that in American football.
I have never seen a call for time wasting in American football. I think if you wanted to really market it, cut the time down. Cut down that 30 seconds between like putting the ball down and the snap, which is when the ball goes back to the quarterback or whatever. That could come down to 15 seconds because that's a fucking long wait. 30 seconds. I mean, it's 30 seconds from the ball going down when the ref puts it down. So if your team like breaks from your own 20-yard line up to the opponent's like 40, you have to get your entire team up and set in 30 seconds because the ref has put the ball down. 30 seconds is counting. That's where it could get interesting. But cutting it down to 15, much more high intensity game, much more pressure. Will it happen? Probably not, because the NFL takes a long time to change anything. So it's it's really hard to explain why 15 minutes takes an hour, which it can do.
Because that's the one complaint I have with quite a few people that watch the NFL and are big fans of the NFL, that they can take the day off to watch it, but that still doesn't guarantee that they're going to see the whole game.
Yeah. But yeah. When it comes to like the big games like a Super Bowl, it's the jackpot is on the line, so the coaches involved will
The jackpot.
as in like the money, like this is the big money ticket, this is the final. The trophy's on the line, a fuck ton of money's on the line, everyone's personal salaries for the next 6 years are on the line.
Yeah.
So you can then say people are trying their dirtiest tricks, and you can see it. Like you can call. If the ref says he dropped the ball, it was in his possession, somebody can say actually the ball wasn't in his possession. They can gainsay the ref at the penalty of losing a timeout. So they have to call it, and if they get it wrong, they get a penalty. If they're right, no problem because the ref was wrong. So game continues. But with the new decision in play, so you get people calling every fucking thing. There was like entire things where people would just like throw away like their allotment. You have 3 per half of timeouts where you can stop the clock for 30 seconds. So if you want to communicate to your quarterback, like we've just seen something, that's part of it as well, is your team is watching from the entire stadium. So you can have people up in the top looking at like a top-down picture almost, so that they see the game differently. And if they radio down, we can see at the far end of the game, that guy's twitching and moving, he's going to do something. You can call it out to your quarterback through a headset. Say, look, keep an eye on the top, your left-hand side, there's a guy twitching, he's coming for you. Like, you can see the play differently. You could use a timeout to fuck with people that way. So you could say, like, you can set a timeout whenever you want, which people do, really fucking annoys me.
I can imagine that getting pretty annoying pretty quickly. Just like, alright, stop. Why are we stopping? This guy looks like he's going to smash me, so I'm going to take the wind out of his sails for 20 seconds.
Yeah. Well, there's a thing of, like, people set up, and they're ready to go, and then the timeout's called. That fucking gets me every time, pissing me off. Because they will either see something or they didn't. They just wanted to do it to fuck with people. And that's the thing, is time manipulation is getting really, really bad in the NFL. Not going to get better though, because it does work. It doesn't win you every play, but it does win you the game if you can just fuck with someone to a certain point. So,
speaking of winning games, as I mentioned, Colin, he's a geek about American football. I love me some rugby. Mm-hmm. My team, the Glasgow Warriors, and possibly the closest fucking game ever. It was 80 minutes. We were 28 points to 32. We were playing an Irish team called Connaught.
Right.
There was 1 try in it. 80 minutes in the game, and there's always the rule in rugby. If you've kicked the ball, the game will not just end there. If you've kicked the ball, you need to like clear it almost. You need to score the try or end that phase.
Yeah.
So we kicked the ball, we were playing through, and we scored that absolute cracker of a try right at 2 minutes 59 seconds extra time, and you can only do 3 minutes extra time.
Really?
So we won. We beat Connaught with 33-32, which was I almost had a fucking heart attack watching that game, because it's with the Rugby World Cup coming up. Mm-hmm. It's Glasgow's reserves, because all the Scotland squad that got picked from Glasgow, which was a fair amount. There's about 16 players that got taken from Glasgow. The rest of the other, I think 8, because they take 25 players. They take 25 players. So the other 9 came from Edinburgh.
Yeah.
They constitute the Scotland squad. So there's 16 players, which is a fucking huge amount taken from Glasgow's side this year. So they're going to struggle in the international, not the international tournament. Sorry, the home tournament, the Pro 12.
Yeah.
No, the professional tournament, because you go like club rugby, professional rugby, then it goes from professional rugby up to international rugby, and international rugby is like the head honcho, like the highest, like echelon. Yeah. If you get a Scotland cap or Scotland jersey, you've pretty much made it. So I think Glasgow this year are going to really struggle in the professional tournaments, because we've lost a lot of our big hitters, like guy Finn Russell, who's our current 10 for Glasgow. He's going to get a Scotland call-up, because he's done absolutely phenomenally playing for Glasgow last year. And this year as well, when he gets back to playing, he'll probably do well for playing with them. But yeah, he's going to get a call up to the Scotland squad. So we're probably going to struggle quite a bit this year.
But that's the thing, is the guys who play at the international level going from the professional will gain so much. Yeah. They'll come back so much smarter and with new tips and tricks and stuff that they then bring back into the squad. So it hurts initially to lose those people out of rotation, but when they come back, it becomes there will be a benefit to Glasgow's team.
Yeah, because I definitely seen the difference with our 10 Finn Russell. When he went away and played for Scotland, he was playing 10, and he had to shout out guys that had been playing rugby since before he would even know how to lace up his boots.
Yeah,
these guys were playing rugby, and he had to go into a pitch and go, right, you guys set deep, and you guys set like forwards on my right, backs left, full back on my arse, that kind of thing. He had to go into a bunch of like well-established team, a bunch of like well-established rugby players, and order them about. Then he took that back to Glasgow, and you've seen the difference. He was like new guys to the team. He could talk to some like 6'8" Samoan dude that recently signed for Glasgow. He just went up to him and went, "You get fucking set. We need to rout these bastards. Then go to the bar and have a beer." Like from then, the experience is invaluable.
Yeah, and with them going away, how is it Rugby World Cup? It's only the 6, isn't it, or is it 8? How many is in the World Cup now?
We've got Australia, the USA, Japan, obviously
That
Scotland.
roster has him big,
Japan jumped in, and Japan's side is very, very scary. Because you think of Japanese people being like racist warning, small, like not very big built people. Then you see the Japanese rugby team. It's like 6'2" guys just walking about like absolutely hulking muscles and shit. You're like, fuck, we actually have a fight on our hands here, and they're a really good team, a very technical team.
Yeah,
you can tell that like their formations are perfect every time, because you get like the straggly lines in rugby where like you set your attacking line, which is usually diagonal, so you can pass the ball back quicker. Because in rugby you don't pass the ball forward, you always pass the ball back. For those of you that don't know, you set the diagonal line, or what you call the attacking line there. But like the Japanese teams, there's never like one guy that's slightly forward, one guy that's too far back. It's a fucking perfect diagonal line. It is genuinely fucking terrifying. They won't be the ones to watch because they've just started playing rugby, but they'll definitely be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
So who else have we got? We've got the USA, we've got Japan, we've got Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales. France are in there, Italy are in there. I think
does Argentina still have a team?
Argentina are still playing, yeah.
Argentina has a team. Then you've got South Africa, Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck about New Zealand because they're shite at rugby.
Yeah, absolutely
just fucking terrible.
Half-assing it every time.
Yeah, if you want to see the world,
Haka more like Hafa.
Half a fucking chance.
Nailed it.
Episode title: Half a fucking chance.
Half a fucking chance of making it through at the end of the episode without me vomiting my lungs up.
Half a fucking chance and no lungs. Episode 10.
Fiji still playing?
Fiji will still be playing. You'll get Samoa, which again I do not want to play a Samoan rugby team. The smallest guy on their pitch, the last Rugby World Cup, was 6'5", and he was called the wee man. I was like, fucking hell! If that's the wee man, I hate to see your tallest dude. Then you see like the locks that just coming past it like 7'2". You're like, shit. Then again, the bigger they are, is like the macho thing of saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. It's because most of their weight is up here, like in the torso area. So if you hit their legs, it's like fucking chopping down a tree. Just dust cloud.
As long as you're not under it, it's fine.
Yeah.
So Rugby World Cup, that's gonna be pretty big actually. I didn't realize the roster included. I mean, when Argentina came along, everyone's like, why do Argentina show up to this thing? But you know, they've been playing for a couple of years, and now with Japan and America making teams.
The US actually have a pretty decent side. Down at my rugby club in Falkirk, it's just club rugby. I'm not like an international player or anything. I wouldn't be doing a podcast if I was an international player.
Oh fuck you! Get to know what takes priority then.
If I was getting paid for if I was getting paid for a sport, if you were getting paid for a sport, would you do a podcast?
Yeah, just to fuck with people. To be fair though, a lot of people who like have a big career also do a podcast.
Yeah, actually, I retract that because I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast and he does UFC and shit like that.
Yeah,
it's actually a pretty funny podcast as well. I think it's called the Joe Rogan Experience. You think of him just like a meathead, like all he does is weights, but he's actually a very, very like intelligently funny guy.
Yeah, I think I've actually had that recommended to me,
yeah, or
at least had somebody mention it and say, "Oh, yeah, this was really."
If you were about a foot, like half a foot shorter and more Brooklyn, you kind of look like him.
Awesome. I actually apparently got the Ivan Moody comment as well, because obviously I know went nuts for 5 Finger Death Punch. Yeah. And then I photoshopped a picture of Ivan Moody on it, something like my brother had a blister. He said, "Oh, my foot's angry at me." So I got Ivan Moody screaming and put it on the blister and then like faded it all in. And I go, "No, now it's angry at you." He goes, "Why is that a photo of you?" What? No!
Ivan Moody.
Ivan Moody, you scrub.
You just think, yeah, I'm the lead singer of 5 Finger Death Punch.
Fuck!
I'm on tour now.
Yeah, I was just I keep listening to it. It's really, really good album. Have you gotten around to it yet?
I have not. I have some time to kill before college tomorrow. I might go to the Edinburgh HMV and just buy several CDs.
Yeah.
Just to kill time.
Yeah, I can browse a HMV for weeks.
Yeah.
You can just leave me there and I'll be fine. He's not going to steal anything. Just let me walk up and down for a little bit and turn around and walk again.
It's now because it's not just like your CDs, DVDs and games. It's now they've got like cool pop culture t-shirts. Like I now have at least quadrupled my Batman t-shirt quotient. I just had one plain like black and yellow Batman t-shirt. Now I've got like Red Hood Batman t-shirt. Now I've got old retro style TV Batman shirt. I have like a Japanese Batman shirt. It's just the same like retro logo thing, but it's got Batman in Japanese. I got it for free when I bought a DVD. So
okay, that's fine. Because I'm going to say I know it doesn't take much to sell a nerd something they like, but that's pretty much the lowest common denominator. I was just like, I should write it in Japanese. They love Japan, they love Batman. Just fucking put Japanese Batman on a t-shirt.
I actually also found the Batmanga, Japanese Batman comics, where the Joker has been replaced by a villain called Dr. Skullface. and he wants to make everybody the same as him, but not like how the Joker wanted to do it by putting that like weird crooked smile on the face. He just wants to put skull masks on people.
I thought it would
that
be
control their
interesting
thoughts.
if he just walked along and just tore people's faces off.
I wanted that to be it.
That'd be really funny. So Batman goes up to Alfred. So what's with this new criminal? And Alfred's just sitting there like sobbing. He just tears the faces off children. I don't know what he's doing. There's no like reason for it.
Have you not wondered where Master Grayson is? He got his face ripped off.
He was walking around just buying groceries, and this dude jumps out and rips his fucking face off.
He's hiding in the freezer section at Iceland. He just rips people's faces off now.
That'd be great. Just
like open up to get your ice lollies, and all of a sudden, off goes your face.
Oh, frozen peas. Oh!
Mom, where's your face?
We really are just trying to create our own content now.
Yeah.
We're just pitching ideas.
I think I want to make a horror movie called Mom, Where's Your Face?
Mom, where's your face? As long as you don't do that bullshit shot, and this has come up a couple times, through the Until Dawn gameplay that I've been watching and through just general horror movie tropes, is that thing where someone is sitting on a chair away from the camera and they slowly spin it round and then the horror surprise.
Like the Norman Bates psycho shot when they find out that his mother's really been dead the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many too many overused horror tropes.
Yeah, it's just a slow spin on a chair, and then suddenly the face is all fucked up, and she's been dead for a year. Yeah. You know, I've seen that far too many times to find it effective or scary.
Same with the noose. Like when you walk into a room and there's just like, oh, nothing's happening, and all of a sudden, like dead body on a noose comes in, like swinging out of nowhere. I'm sick and tired of that one as well.
Yeah, I don't see it as being very creative.
Yeah, it's not.
Especially when you can be really creative with horror movies and have it be a real fucking nightmare.
Yeah, and like jump scares. I'm done with jump scares. They're the quickest, like, cheapest option. Just have somebody jump at the ground and they're like, bleh.
I've been done with them for years. I just fucking cannot stand them anymore.
That's why I kind of gave up on Five Nights at Freddy's. I finally got around to playing a version of that.
Right.
Like on my brother's mobile.
Five Nights at Freddy's on mobile, okay.
Yeah, I got it for free through I have the Amazon App Store
I'm guessing it's technically classed as a laxative, so you play it in the toilet and shit yourself.
Pretty much, yeah. Because I will admit it did get me once, that like Foxy, whatever it's called. Right. It can appear anywhere no matter what security measures you put in place. So I was just like, oh, thank fuck. It's 5:45. I play this for another like 15 seconds. I'm done with this level. So I just left everything open, didn't check the camera, and just wanted timer on it. Then I just thought, alright, I'll check the camera one last time before the last 5 seconds are up. I pull up the camera, look at it, nothing's coming. I drop it down, and this Foxy thing's appearing right behind the camera. Jump scare, and I was just like, oh, thank fuck, I was on the toilet. Just, I don't need to clean anything up.
It was. I look at the Five Nights at Freddy's series, and it does look kind of entertaining, but it's one of those things where it's just a load of jump scares at some points. And if it's well executed, fine. But people who rely on it for horror, you're not creating horror, which is kind of more suspenseful. It's more engaging on a deeper level than just boo.
Yeah.
This is just something just jumping out and going, bah, that's just a fright. It's not horror.
What I find more terrifying, well, not terrifying, what I find more engaging about Five Nights at Freddy's as a horror film, or as a horror game, is not its gameplay, it's more a story. Its story is more terrifying than the gameplay could ever be.
All I know
just
is
how like
the suits want to tear you apart and put you in the suit as well.
You actually find out that I think it might be in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the suits are actually just trying to save you. But they think by killing you, they are saving you.
Alright, so they're just like, no, you could be one of us, we'll live forever.
Because that's, like, you find out, spoilers, that the animatronics are brought back to life by the deceased souls of children that this killer has killed in the pizzeria.
Right.
And they've inhabited these...
the souls go into the animatronics?
Yeah, they go into the animatronics, and the reason why they're trying to kill the security guard is because they were killed by a security guard.
Oh.
And that goes into that thing, and the reason why they're trying to stuff you into a suit is to save you, or to kill you and save your soul. I think it's something to do with, they think that bodies are like prisons,
right.
And if they free the soul from the body, put you in another one, you're free or something.
That's a pretty example of like a child's logic. Like, we died before we were in the bodies, but now that we're in the suits, we can't die. You know, that kind of thing.
I'd like to see the version of them when they're testing their new bodies, just like kicking their own heads down. They're like, look, I'm fine, but I don't have a head anymore.
Look, I have a weird perspective now, and the little teddy bear just throws up because it just realizes, wait, I just kicked my own head. Oh, it's so messed up. I don't understand. My brain's just struggling to deal with
everything's all fucked up.
I'm glad to see somebody is like getting a good look at Five Nights at Freddy's and isn't just jump scaring the whole way through and not like screaming at Twitch when they do it.
Yeah, because Scott Cawthon, not Cawthon, he's actually written some incredible amount of lore for that game that he doesn't even begin to touch. Because Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was just, I don't want to say it was just the beginning, but he's only just touching on the final part of the story, so there's going to be a fuck ton of DLC for that game.
Interesting. I don't know I think they might plan to go to 5, I'm not sure.
To be honest, at this point, I think they have to. Because he just keeps adding stuff onto it. He goes, oh, I'll throw that in, I'll give them this thing, I'll give them that thing, I'll give them extra characters, I'll give them fucking multiplayer or something. Just
multiplayer Five Nights at Freddy's.
I wouldn't be scary, because that's why Resident Evil works so well at the beginning. You feel terrified because there's no one else with you, and you're going through dark, dimly lit passages, and everything's broken and shattered. You're going through it alone, one person, one individual. You add another person into that, you have someone to bounce off of, you have someone to calm you down, or someone you have to calm down. It doesn't really work as well.
I think 4 got away with it because apparently the sub-character was fucking useless.
I don't think there was a sub-character before, but I think it's just ideas that they have just do multiplayer. Like one person plays as the character, another person plays as the animatronic.
Did you not have to help number 4 as... In number 4, did you not have to grab someone... Was it Alice or something like that? And you had to hide her from them. You could hide her, and that was the best way to play the game, was to just leave her in a bin, go and fight the level, then come back and grab her, and then walk back to the end.
I haven't heard of that. I think I'll have to look into that. That sounds pretty funny. Just hide your little sister, just put her in a bin, leave her there for 20 minutes and come back.
I enjoyed Resident Evil 5, even though people hated Sheva Alma.
Yeah, like I said, those games are dog shit when you play them solo. Play them with a friend, they're very redeemable. The only difference to that being Resident Evil 6. Good co-op, good gameplay, fucking dog shit story. One which I will not get into.
Yeah.
But yeah, you enjoyed Resident Evil 5.
Yeah, we had a good time playing it, just me and my brothers, and then various people who popped up, hey, you want to play this level? We're playing it on Ultra Insane mode, and... It's not that hard, but it is funny to try and perfectly time shotgun blasts to the head of weird zombies.
Yeah, the game got ridiculously easy the minute you got the infinite ammo weapons. With Chris, you got the infinite ammo minigun. With Sheva, you got infinite ammo bow.
Yeah,
which you could never find arrows for it, but you had to upgrade it to get it to go infinite ammo.
I can't remember how we played that one. I think our Sheva didn't even bother with it. I remember being Chris a lot and not really using the minigun because it slowed you down too much. And it made the gameplay... it broke the gameplay a little bit too much.
Yeah, you just stand in the corner, spray right, spray left, spray right, spray left.
It's just like washing a driveway, but it's zombies and you're using bullets to wash stuff away. It works kind of, but at the same time, I didn't really enjoy it because it kind of broke the gameplay too much. I wanted to just be running and gunning through Africa, just murdering zombies.
Yeah.
No problem with that.
You know, somebody, some diehard Resident Evil fan's going to jump on the podcast and be like, excuse me, Colin, they're not zombies, they're infected. We know they're infected. It's easy to call them zombies.
I don't mind doing the infected versus zombies thing. I did,
Best use of that probably 28 days later.
Jeez, that was terrifying. It's a good movie, but I love it. You said
The fact that obviously it won't happen, but it quite easily could happen.
There's way too much of kind of faux science about it, and it kind of gets annoying to talk, or not talk about it, but to listen to some people go, the zombie outbreak's coming. I think it was the worst one I saw was when the CDC or the Pentagon in America contacted the guy who wrote World War Z, Max Brooks, and asked him if he would give a guest speech for a couple minutes about the idea of a pathogen spreading and wiping out big chunks of humanity, which is a threat, it's a possibility, and it's one that has to be considered. The internet saw this and went, oh my god, this means the zombie apocalypse has to happen. That the American Pentagon is dealing with the idea of a zombie outbreak, and when you read it, they actually use zombies as a model for infection. That means they use the theory behind not the bites, but close contact with someone resulting in disease. How does that affect a room full of people? But zombies are a piece of fantasy. They affect that. I mean, the idea of, I'm sick right now. I'm sick because I was in the same room as someone who was also sick. That's kind of close contact. The idea behind the zombies as a model is kind of flawed because zombies are aggressive and people change their behaviour in aggressive people. So it's not quite a perfect model, but it is one worth studying because you can use that as an example of, I'm in close proximity to you, I infect you, you then go home either not knowing you're infected or assuming you're going to be okay and infect your house. Those people go out, infect their house. The idea of zombies as a model fine. But the zombie apocalypse, pretty friggin' hard to pull off right now, and there's not a lot of chance of it happening anyway.
I do think it's just people, like fans of science fiction, fans of fantasy, just thinking, oh, this is how it could happen. You could come up with a million different ways to possibly bring about a zombie apocalypse. All of them probably have some plausible explanation how to solve them.
The only way to solve them is a bullet to the brain. Speaking of like weird shit that was found recently in science to do with like viruses and infections, they have found one of the largest known viruses in history, and it's in a cave in the middle of Russia. It's been frozen. A team of French scientists have went in. They're going to try and grab it, preserve it, and bring it back and start studying it. But they're going to have to do... There's a lot of tests and work involved in this, having to actually pull off something like, I'm going to test a virus for just, zombie... Or for... No, I keep going up with zombie infections, but I want to test a virus and see if it's still viable. And it's, I say it's one of the largest ones. It's strange that what they're looking at right now is that the genetics encoding these viruses, there are 300 pieces of genetic code to code for this virus that they've just found in Russia. The current flu virus, which is highly prolific and affects a lot of people every year, it is much more massive, and this is what they're going back and finding. This virus has been frozen for a long time. It's ancient, beyond words. It's more complex. This doesn't really make sense for some reason. I think what it is that they've kind of cut down, become more efficient. That's why influenza right now can consist of 8 pieces of genetic code, whereas an old virus is about 300. It's still fucking tiny. Yeah. You need an electron microscope to see this thing in action, but you look at it and go, it's strange that things have become simplified, and I think that's speaking to efficiency versus complexity, which is when evolution is involved, things get more complex normally. This one has become more efficient, although some people are still scratching their heads and going, why is it bigger? It's an interesting one. I kind of want to keep an eye on it and see what happens with this ancient virus dug out of the ice. Apparently the same team has found another one before and has won some serious awards for the work they've done, so they're now, they went back to the same fucking cave and found a completely different virus. It's kind of like it's kind of like the team going back and finding like the mega shark versus giant octopus. You found one, and you go back and find another one, and then just kind of, hey, you guys found the mega shark, why did you go back? Oh, well, we also saw there was a giant octopus there, we just didn't get time to grab it.
Yeah, there was a giant mechanical shark in there, but we just left it.
I thought we made the mecha shark in those movies. We made mecha shark to fight regular giant monster shark.
I always thought that sounds more plausible.
That's what's going on the next watch list. Because that's the thing is, with the old Godzilla movies, at one point there was Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, which was made from the bones of the previous Godzilla.
But then robots got involved.
Yeah. They decided the only thing that could beat Godzilla was Godzilla. So they gave him a giant mechanical suit.
The only thing that can beat Godzilla is a bigger Godzilla.
There's been 4 or 5 different Godzillas since the start. There was the first one, then he gets killed by an overdose of radiation, weirdly. Then there's another one that's an old Godzillasaurus that gets bombarded with radiation, and he becomes the new Godzilla. Then there's the legendary Godzilla, the one that came out in that movie not too long ago, which people shit on unfairly. I like that movie. Then there's the
I
one.
haven't seen it yet.
I think it's pretty good.
I saw the trailer and went, this is never going to be as good as this trailer.
Yeah.
Because the trailer for it was awesome. It was like a US Navy SEAL team just parachuting around it to try and mark it and flare it. And you're like, this is really, really cool. But none of the movie is going to look like this. I know this going before I pressed play.
A lot of people went to go see it and thought, oh, Bryan Cranston's going to be in this movie. It's going to be fucking Heisenberg versus a fucking Godzilla. No, he dies pretty early in the film.
Yeah, people grabbed onto that one pretty bad.
Early. And I think I can't remember the name of the guy who plays the main character, but he played Kick-Ass in Kick-Ass.
Right, I don't know Kick-Ass.
He was also he was Quicksilver in the Avengers.
There we go.
Yeah, he is not the best lead character. He's pretty whiny and pretty.
I hear he's
shit.
A soldier with a whiny wife, and they whine at each other over the phone and say "I love you" and stuff, and then he does stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, he helps out a bit.
The focal point of a Godzilla movie should be Godzilla.
Yeah. It's like the Transformers films. Why should I give a fuck about Shia LaBeouf wanting to bang Megan Fox when Optimus Prime is trying to stop the Earth being enslaved and having a punching match with Megatron while doing so?
Yeah.
Why should I give a fuck about that?
I have giant robot boxing over here, and you want me to give a shit about a guy who just wants to be with a special gal. Come on.
He just wants to get his hole.
Show me the robot fight. I wanna see robot fight.
Actually, I read an article about that. They are finally, when they continue with the Transformers films, they're finally going to give us more Transformers to the point of it's probably mostly going to be all CG. Like, they go to Cybertron and they have the fight on Cybertron.
Huh. See, my problem with the whole idea of the fight on Cybertron was highlighted by the video game, in that you're a giant robot on a giant robot planet. That's the ultimate kind of version of games were accused of being like the kind of gunmetal grey and dirty brown.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate version of that, because you yourself are the same material as the planet you are on. So unless they go for the high colour, you know, like everybody's rolling around in like giant yellow banana suits,
Yeah.
versus the green apple people on the grey planet, I see that as being a very visually hard to enjoy film.
Then again, when you get quite a lot of war films, when there's a very low colour palette, not a lot of vibrant colours, mostly just your greens and your like brown, like your browns and blacks, I don't think it'll really go unnoticed, because these films are meant to be for kids.
Yeah.
If they like the fact that the planet could at any point transform and beat the living crap out of its inhabitants, they'll probably pay money to see it.
I think that'd be a pretty cool concept. I'm pretty sure it's been done in some kind of D&D setting.
Yeah.
Where like, a planet is also a person, don't fuck with it too much.
Yeah. Don't let her or it will come alive and eat you.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of, if I'd sit down and watch an hour and a half to 2 hours of giant robot men punching each other on the giant robot planet, I'd maybe just not enjoy it as much as if it was more stylistically like, you know, we watched the old movie, the cartoon one where it's all animated and there's very clear kind of colour palettes for each side, and then the world is kind of muted to sit in the background. It needs to be done right, and I don't know who they'll get to direct it, but
it's probably still Michael Bay. He's got a fucking like a vice grip on that shit. That's bringing him money.
He's really doing that another one?
Yeah, he's bringing out another one. Because why not? Every single one of those films, I mean, one of them got a fucking Golden Razzie, which is the complete polar opposite to an Oscar.
I love the Razzies.
Like, Nicolas Cage, I think he has the record for the most. He has about 14 or something.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of shit films he's done. But yeah, every single one of those films has not done well, with the exception of the first one, but he still gets millions of dollars off them. I don't think any film has done less than 400 million.
I know he used the money to fund Pain and Gain, so...
Yeah, even Pain and Gain was a shit film, but it's still done pretty well.
Pain and Gain was awesome.
It was stupidly funny, but it was not a good film.
It was awesome.
It's just Marky Mark and The Rock walking about looking like steroid junkies.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. Speaking of steroids, I saw this just like a couple of moments ago. Apparently, they are filming a biopic of Lance Armstrong, the US biking champion, like winner of the Tour de France, Olympic gold medalist, hero, cancer survivor, who then may have used steroids. And, you know, if he did, okay, but he's cheated, and it's been back and forth in various lawsuits, so the whole thing kind of falls under the alleged thing, but I'm pretty sure we all know he did it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the final standing is right now, but I'm pretty sure he's there as, yeah, you did steroids, you've got
Yeah, I think
proof.
he's just admitted to it. He's like, yeah, I've done it, I wanted to win.
He admitted it to Oprah, but then he's trying to fight a weird legal battle about like how much he can get in trouble for it. But they are filming a biopic about him, and the person involved to play Lance Armstrong is saying he's having trouble coming down from taking steroids, which he took to do the role. As he's right now just saying, I took some steroids to be this athletically fit and to film these scenes and whatever. I'm now coming off them and it fucking sucks. You know, because it's in post-production, I'm guessing. But, you know, you look at it and go, wow, the guy taking steroids to pretend to be the guy taking steroids is having problems. What is going on with the guy who took steroids in the first place? You know, absolutely horrific nightmare. You know, he's the guy who started that the armband thing. Like,
The Live Strong, yeah, that was his
Livestrong,
organisation.
that was his thing. It's weird that that's still such a cultural touchstone. You know,
See, I know I have one of those wristbands on, but this one has a reason. This is for the Scottish Charity Air Ambulance, because one of our rugby players got a very bad neck injury and got airlifted away.
Yeah.
We all said, yeah, let's throw in a couple shekels to this guy, like prove it's a pretty decent service.
Yeah.
I am so against Live Strong bands. It fucking hurts. Like, cause you remember the racism bands that were the black and white ones?
Yeah.
There
was a rubber band for everything.
Yeah, like Live Strong, like breast cancer. Like if you wanted to run more, you get a certain wristband. There was so many stupid fucking wristbands that people paid stupid amounts of money for, all because they looked cool.
Yeah.
I hated that fucking thing I hated those things back in high school. These fucking bugged me.
Yeah, they got really almost kind of out of hand when people were just like, yeah, I'm gonna like buy these new wristbands. All right, what are you getting? Oh, it's this one for like pandas and this one for keeping the water clean, and it's like £5 for two. And you're like, £5 for two rubber bands? And you go, yeah, it's a good deal. You fucking what?
Yeah.
It's a good deal to get two. Oh, okay, never mind. I just ignored the whole thing.
Yeah, just to be clear, I don't mind people if it's a donation, like you pay £50 and they go, all right, here you go, have a wristband. Thank you for donation.
Yeah.
But if you're going out of your way to spend £5, maybe in some cases £6 or £7 on a rubber band to put on your wrist, that'll probably break fairly quickly. Because remember, that was the one thing that happened when my brother had a Livestrong band. He put it on his wrist once, then when he went to take it off, it snapped. And I thought, well, you just wasted £4 on a fucking rubber band. I bet you feel brilliant.
Yeah. And if the money goes towards a charitable cause, it's all great. But as a fashion accessory, very minimal, very kind of dumb.
If you're, it's more the cost point.
Yeah, I'm all for supporting the cause, but just maybe don't have shitty wristbands.
Yeah. But what was the actual, like, people bought those wristbands not knowing what Livestrong actually done? Was it just
it was just a cancer support charity. One of many doing good work, but it's just kind of, it was an American one as well. Yeah, it was a weird one for us to buy the American brand of one rather than go for a local cancer charities. I'm actually doing something about that. We are like the coffee morning for Macmillan Cancer.
Yeah, the Macmillan Cancer Trust.
Yeah, they do like a coffee morning. Basically, you come along, make a donation. Everybody brings food, play some like real easy party games.
Yeah, everyone brings some cake.
Yeah, I'm baking savoury because no one else is.
Yeah.
Because we're using this as like a bring along lunch thing where everybody cooks something. I think me and one other person are doing savoury. About 20 other people are going to do sweet. So kind of screwed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that. I'm gonna try and do North Carolina pulled pork. Hey, we're on the Carolina Panthers top right now, looking like a douchebag. I put a hat on with this earlier because I've got the long sleeve shirt and the football top on. I put a hat on earlier and put a photo up on Twitter. Sorry, so fucking dumb, but so fucking funny. I'm pledging allegiance to the lack of values that our podcast has. Is great. Anything's for a game because we are talking Gibberpish.
Yeah. And again, if you had a Konami shirt and a Konami hat on, there's every chance that shit might got pulled down.
Yeah, that one got kind of well and truly at hand when they pulled down fan art from Metal Gear Solid 5.
My viewpoint of it is it might have been a spoiler, and they didn't want spoilers out there so quickly.
Nah, I don't think it was. From what I heard, because the whole thing has been constantly deleted. The DMC, I think, the copyright takedown is still there, or in place, and I couldn't find the tweet that was originally posted or like blocked. But a lot of people think it's mostly because Hideo Kojima retweeted it.
Yeah.
Just as that little Hideo Kojima Konami thing, it just keeps kind of spiraling on.
As much as I like Metal Gear Solid 5, the shittiest thing that they did was take Kojima's name off the box.
Yeah, pretty shitty move.
Because my brother bought. I say I bought it. My brother bought the special edition. You look on the because you get a little like half scale version of Snake's robot arm.
Yeah.
You look on that, you will not find a single Kojima logo. You look on the Steelbook box, you will not find a Kojima. Same with the actual game box that you can just pick up in store. Nothing. Like strategy guide, nothing. Even like stuff that Kojima himself has drawn, there's no Kojima logo on it.
It's all just completely
all
cool.
just Konami.
Yep, because fuck it.
Yeah.
Who needs to respect their fans?
Because I mean, it's not like Hideo Kojima is one of the best game developers in the country, like in the world, still left.
Yeah.
And they've just managed to piss him off. He's going to go to Platinum Games and finish off Metal Gear there. Because he owns the Fox engine. He can take it wherever the hell he wants.
I think he said he was done with Metal Gear.
He's still going to make Metal Gear Rising though. But in as much of he's going to allow it to happen.
Right.
But he's not going to have any direct input in it. Because Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, the first one, he didn't have anything to do with that. He just signed off on it. Said, yeah, this is going to be a real cool thing. I will jump in with any artistic choices.
Yeah.
Or anything that I don't like. But then he played a version of the game and went, holy fuck. That is amazing. Keep making it. Keep going.
So he has the Rising series, but I think the main Metal Gear one is done.
Yeah, he's done with Big Boss, that story, but he's not done with Solid Snake. He will go back and revisit like the Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, and Metal Gear Solid 4 storylines. Because Solid Snake is still alive, and I think what he's going to do, because at the at the start of Metal Gear Solid 4, he has what's the word I'm looking for? He has jumped forward a few years. He's rapidly aging. So he's went from having the appearance of a normal 30-year-old man to, say, the appearance of a 65-year-old man.
Right.
And I think the first thing they're going to do, if they ever do a Metal Gear Solid 6, back with Solid Snake, they're going to reverse his aging to make him young again.
Because why not?
Because, yeah, why not have one of the world's most beloved video game characters be young again?
Just clone him.
They can't clone
then
him.
You can go, he was a clone the whole time. Who knew? And everyone
Solid
goes,
Snake
we
is a
knew.
clone.
Yeah, clone.
Yeah.
And have that be part of the plot.
Yeah, but it's like all some stupid fucking like convoluted bullshit that the three children, Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, and Solidus, they can't be cloned again.
Right.
And they can't have children because they're infertile.
Right.
It's basically a way to close that loop.
Right.
So when they die, the legacy of Big Boss dies as well.
Right.
Which I think is pretty stupid. So I think they're just going to let Snake drift on, maybe let him die, then Raiden will probably jump in there as like the cyborg ninja, and then maybe his son, if that ever happens.
Do you know he's better than Wolverine?
Raiden?
Yep. Death Battle covered that one as well.
As in, like, Cyborg Ninja Raiden fought Wolverine with, like, the snicked.
Yep.
I'll need to look that up.
I think the logic's pretty sound on it. I want you to wait and see what happens with that. You can
Wolverine-
go watch that next week, and we'll get back to it next week.
So Wolverine lost, right?
Yeah.
I can see why, because Wolverine's always got this thing of, like, he can be killed by a thing called carbonadium, which cuts through his adamantium and like plays severe havoc with his healing ability. Like, completely fucks him up.
Right.
And what they use as the basis for carbonadium is basically what Raiden is made out of.
Yeah.
And there's that low level electrical field that goes around all of Raiden's weapons. It pretty much cut through Wolverine like butter.
Okay, you already guessed it. The plot twist is that the vibrating superpowered sword that he has,
The VF sort of thing.
it goes through adamantium, and you can kill Wolverine by beheading him.
Yeah.
Just that nobody's gotten through the neck yet, so he just goes through the neck.
Yeah, to be fair, not many people get close enough to Wolverine to try and kill him.
Yeah.
He's just that. The fact that he's only about 5'4" to get up close and stab them in the chest a few thousand times.
Yeah, he's they went through that, and well, I guess you don't have to watch it next week, but
Now, I'll still tune in because Death Battle have got this really cool way of making the fights interesting, even though you probably guessed the outcome.
yeah,
Like, M. Bison was always going to get beat by Shao Kahn because Shao Kahn's essentially a deity at this point, and M. Bison just has a body that can kill itself very quickly if he uses his power too much.
yeah. They have next week though. Next week. The next episode of Death Battle will be Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball versus someone who will be announced later on. So, considering that the joke is that Mr. Satan couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag, I'm interested to see who they put him up against.
I think I might know who it already is. I think it might be Dan from Street Fighter 5. Sorry, Dan from Street Fighter.
Right.
Not Street Fighter 5. I think he's in Street Fighter 5 yet.
Who's Dan?
Dan is basically Mr. Satan for Street Fighter, whereas Ken and Ryu, they've been taught the Ansatsuken. They can do the Hadokens perfectly. They can do the Hurricane kicks and the Shoryuken.
Yeah.
Dan is basically the guy that they purposefully trained wrong.
All right.
Like, his Hadoken travels about half an inch in front of him, then dissipates.
Oh.
His Shoryuken is like, instead of extending the arm fully up, he just does like kind of like in at the shoulder and up. Like, he can't do Hurricane kick for that long. He's basically the joke character.
Right.
But in Street Fighter 4, he became the best character because he had super armor. So every time you punch him, it takes 3 punches to actually connect him. He just became ridiculously strong. He's a joke character through and through.
I'm wondering who it is. I'm trying to look through other things where they have a guy who is acting hard, but then doesn't actually do anything. And I'm really struggling to come up with a list of anyone. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to send them in, because I'm struggling to think of who it would be, and I want to try and guess before it comes to the actual episode. Although I'm going to be keeping an eye on it to see who gets to draw against Mr. Satan.
I'm trying to think who it was. Dan seems like the most logical choice. I can't think of any other character. Maybe like Aquaman.
Aquaman would be pretty funny.
Mr. Satan versus Aquaman.
Mr. Satan versus Aquaman, but it's above ground. Yeah, I'd kind of watch that. Yeah, I want to see. I like their content to do some interesting stuff.
Yeah, they always do some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, although who was there was one thing I want to talk about before we go, and that was the Kim Davis thing in Kentucky, where a member of the kind of local court is refusing to hand out marriage licenses to gay couples, and this has been a fucking mess. And I really don't want to go all the way into it because it's such a fucking mess. But it's getting to the point where just people are now just speaking out against her. She's being hailed as a Christian martyr for standing up for her values, and then everyone with half a brain turns around and says your right to religion doesn't allow you to discriminate against other people for just trying to do what they're legally allowed to do. My favourite quote from her was when she initially stopped handing out marriage licenses. Couples who wanted to get married complained, and the news showed up, and in front of 30 news cameras she says, she says, I will not hand out marriage licenses to gay couples. And they go, on what authority do whose authority are you doing this under? Because you legally have to do it under the federal authority.
I think I know where the story's going already, but continue.
She says, I'm doing it under God's authority.
There it is.
There's the fucking crazy. But yeah,
from a purely legal perspective, even if just say there's a bill that comes through saying you're no longer allowed to have beards.
Yeah.
If I work in a legal profession, I have to shave the beard off. I can't just say, no, God wants me to have a beard. I'm contractually bound, honor bound, every other different type of legally binding that I can be, I am. Yeah. I would need to shave the beard. You can't just go, no, you're not getting a gay marriage license. How? See the imaginary figment in the sky? He tells me I can't do it.
My imaginary friend says you can't be married, and I know the court said I wasn't allowed to say that, but I'm going to say it anyway.
He says I can.
Yeah, it's been a total mess, and the very heavily Christian right wing is now just kind of rallying behind her as a voice of kind of religious freedom. although your religious freedom doesn't include discrimination against others. And it's getting to the point where
It even says in the Bible itself, be open and accept everyone for who they are. I could actually find a Bible, like any, like Old Testament or New Testament, find any chapter in that book, and it will say, be open and accept people for who they are. And probably every paragraph in that book.
Yeah, and it's getting to the point where the celebrity commentators are coming in now. George Takei's coming in about it, obviously, because he's a very, very good person to listen to when it comes to these.
He's a very vocal spokesperson for these kind of issues.
Yeah, he's very nails it every time. There's nothing, he never really puts the foot and you go, no, you're talking shit, George. Yeah. No, he nails it every time.
I mean, it's even getting to the point where people in the metal community are picking up on the shit as well.
I'm going to
Johan
Hegg of a Monomorph basically came out and spoke about a couple things, including church taxation, and then came down on the whole situation with this woman in Kentucky very hard, saying if you take your religion, if you take your beliefs from a 1400 to 2000 year old book, you really don't have the moral authority to judge the 21st century. Go live in a cave. At which point the mic drops and the universe fucking ends.
Yeah,
because
that's
a pretty good one.
In the middle.
Yeah. When a Viking tells you don't have the moral high ground anymore, you done goofed.
Yeah, you fucked up. You can never gain the moral high ground again.
And it was just an interesting little thing that popped up on like various metal communities of, holy shit, the lead singer of Amon Amarth just slapped the whole situation into place, and it was just a great quote to read. I saw it in Metal Sucks. .net.
I seen it on Metal Hammer.
Yeah,
I'm signed up to their like mailing list, so I get random emails like, bring me the Horizon's new single. That got fucking deleted straight off the bat.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Metal Hammer, they have an interview with Howard Jones coming up about their new material.
Oh, the Devil You Know album's coming out soon. Fucking forgot about that. Thank you.
Yes, I almost forgot about it as well until somebody said that the next magazine would feature an interview, and then it was just like, oh.
I might actually pay the £5 to get that fucking magazine now.
Yeah, I actually.
Because they usually come with like free CDs and free posters and stuff, so it kind of justifies the £5 for it.
And it's a big enough magazine, and I feel there's enough there to read.
Yeah.
And also you get your tour listings and stuff. They're pretty good in there. I mean, obviously all this is probably available somewhere online, but Metal Hammer's the one that I kind of go, yeah, we'll read that.
Yeah, because no one reads Kerrang anymore. Not unless you're a tween girl.
Nah, it's been that way for years. Metal Hammer seems to have the right basis. They do have a little bit of a hardcore following, but...
Yeah, now that Bees is away to Scuzz or wherever the fuck he is now, it's just all the better.
Yeah, they do seem to have, a firm grasp of their metal roots. They know where they come from, they know where they're going, and they do a lot of good work, so I'm really interested to see what Devil You Know puts out for their next album, but that's going to be the one I get really excited about. And I might finally get to see them live.
Yeah, because you went to see... They were touring with Machine Head.
Yes, and they had to pull out to do
we were
something
both meant
in
to
the
go,
studio.
but I like Machine Head, but I have no interest in really seeing them live. So as soon as I seen that Devil You Know had pulled out, I kind of backed out. I wish I went because you said you had a fucking amazing time at that show.
Yeah,
cut your eye open.
Good time. Yeah, it's the only concert to make me bleed. Was just somebody happened to clock me in the head, and just one of those things of the right angle, and then your skin bursts open. And the person who told me that I'd cracked my eye open was a thrash metal version of Bane from the Batman series. As in literally somebody with a shaved head, the Bane mask, looking like Tom Hardy in a Slayer jacket.
Fuck.
He turns around and goes, "Your heart's bleeding." I went, what?
It is not I that is bleeding, it is you.
Why is Dr. Bane here? Why is Bane a doctor? Why is he heavy metal Bane? I don't understand what's going on here, but apparently my head's bleeding, so, that might be part of it. Yeah, good gig. Really enjoyed it. Kind of gutted I didn't get to see Devil You Know, but then that kind of led me to enjoying a 2-hour-long Machine Head stage show.
Yeah.
Can't be beaten, really. It was a bit strange that the excuse given was, we're going to do some work in the studio. But, oh well.
To be honest, if they were going to... Their album had just come out, so maybe they were getting stuff ready for the next album.
Yeah, that's what I think it was.
Because I know like Devil You Know, they're it's almost a kind of session band, I think. I'm probably wrong on this. No, I think they're just like, they have other bands on the go as well.
I'm not entirely sure. I think they are now committed to that one band because they do tour as Devil You Know. That's kind of where 90% of the time will go into. They are from other bands. I don't know if they're still there. But yeah, I see the main thing that keeps getting posted up right now is kind of like a very female heavy gig of what was it? The Agonist.
I quite enjoy The Agonist. Alyssa Whitglow's previous band before Arch Enemy.
Eluvette.
Eluvite.
I can't leave it to you. I'll do. And then Epica. It's one of those ones I've seen. I'd go see that.
I think I've seen Epica live when they toured with Camelot.
Yeah.
This was back in high school, but they were okay. But to be honest, I knew one band that was on stage, and it was Camelot. I had no interest in any other band that was going on that fucking stage that day.
Yeah, I just like the idea of there now being enough female metalheads to justify, or female metal vocalists to justify basically a female-led tour. That's awesome. I love it.
To be honest, the new lead singer of The Agonist, she sounds quite a lot like Alyssa. Her vocals are a bit harsher. Like, they're not as clean as, like, her clean vocals. Hers seem a bit like growlier than Alyssa's. I don't know her name, so I apologise to the any Agonist fans out there. I'm trying not to do them any injustice. I haven't heard any of their new stuff, but I've been told it's pretty good. But before Alyssa left, some of their stuff kind of went in the downturn because you kind of got the sense that she's wrapping this loose end up before she goes to Arch Enemy.
Yeah,
but I'll still will listen to The Agonist quite a bit.
I think we need a list of shit we want to watch and shit we want to listen, and it's just going to continue like a massive Excel sheet of stuff we want to listen to, stuff we want to watch, stuff we want to read, and it's just going to get longer and longer and longer.
And that is our Twitter question this week. What shit should we watch? What shit should we be looking out for?
What makes the list? So, if you have anything for Twitter or general podcast feedback, the Twitter is @Gibberpish.
And the email is at gibberpish@outlook.com.
.com. It was .com. We didn't include the information the last time.
We haven't done it in a while. We haven't included the feedback links in a while.
No, we have. I did it, and then for some reason wasn't able to remember it the last week. So yeah, any feedback, any suggestions on what we should cover and comment? We got one from Lance. He was going to talk about Jessica Jones, but we haven't seen enough of it to really start talking about it.
There was a 30-second teaser saying that it's going to be coming out on the 10th of November on Netflix, like all in one big chunk. Like they're not going to do it episode by episode, week after week. Yeah, they're just going to give us all 13 or 14 episodes at once. They've
been pretty honest about the fact that they looked at the data and went, yeah, you binge watch, so we're going to let you binge watch.
Like I did with Daredevil. I lost 13 hours I do not regret watching. It's a fucking awesome show.
But yeah, until Dom figures out what Jessica Jones is, we'll see you next time.
We will see you next time.